Now, analysis of food samples, some fruit juices and swabs taken from the environment at the East Legon branch of the Marwako Fast Food Limited indicates that there was a heavy microbial load, that's pathogens, which may be linked to the foodborne disease reported. Samples collected from the Agbelimpe and La branches were also found to be heavily contaminated. These were contained in the report released by the Food and Drugs Authority from their investigations into the food poisoning incidents at the East Legon branch of Marwako Fast Food. My colleague Kweku Asante joins me live on Zoom with details of the release. Kweku, first, what does the report say about the environment where the food were being cooked at the restaurant?
So in this initial report that has now been published by the Food and Drugs Authority, they talk about how unhygienic the environment that this food preparation process takes place. They explain that the systematic unhygienic condition might have contributed to this. And we must establish that this is only a preliminary report. It is in no way the full report of the Food and Drugs Authority on the specific incident that happened just last month. And so let me quote some portions of the report for you. It says that analysis of samples of food, some drinks, and swabs taken from the environment at the East Legon branch of Marwako Fast Food indicate that there was heavy microbial load, pathogens, which may be linked to the foodborne disease reported. Samples collected from the Agbelimpe and La branches were also found to be heavily contaminated. And so this is the part of this report that has been published by the FDA that deals with the environment where the cooking has been taking place at the Marwako Fast Food.
Now, the report also touches on the storage of the items at Marwako. What does it say exactly?
So it continues to say that the levels and sanitation and hygiene in the food preparation areas in all three facilities, La, East Legon, were very poor. They talk about the temperatures of deep freezers and refrigerators were all above the acceptable ranges. The handling practices of ingredients used in cooking, cooked and ready to eat food items were also very poor. So they are trying to set the context in terms of the storage of some of this food, the refrigerators that are used at Marwako Fast Food being above what they should be. And so they are impugning these specific practices of the company.
The report again talks about Marwako frustrating the investigation processes. What exactly are they accusing Marwako of?
So this seems to be one of the very important legs in this statement that has been published by the Food and Drugs Authority. They are alleging that when they were investigating, they actually told the Marwako Foods restaurant not to dump or throw away some of their material. Although they have gone there to collect samples and you were there yourself, they had told them to keep some of these samples for investigations. But this statement said that Marwako Fast Food threw away some of these evidence that they would have used in investigating. Again, let me quote. It says, the process to establish the root cause of the contamination has been unfortunately hampered by the unapproved and unilateral decision by the management of Marwako to destroy some of the food items while the investigation was in process.
Okay. Now, are we aware of any sanctions applied yet?
So this statement does not tell us the sanctions that have been applied, but we know from the public relations officer of Marwako that they have been fined around 700,000 cedis and they have actually started paying, according to the public relations officer of Marwako Food, who spoke to us already a while ago, that some of these fines had already been put there. And according to FDA, this is by no means the totality of the fines they will pay. But also, the company, the restaurant, is not supposed to be open until some of these investigations are concluded.
Now, this concerns customers like you and I who go there to buy food. What assurances is the FDA giving in terms of protecting us, the customers?
So this has become a very big issue when the FDA is explaining to the public that it will continue to ensure that their interests are put at the heart of the investigations that they are doing. This also brings to issue other restaurants who may not have come to the limelight yet. And so the FDA is assuring that they are doing this investigation in a holistic manner to ensure that all the spots are covered and to ensure that ultimately consumers are protected.
Now, so that's the details in that statement there. But what does Marwako make of this report? Joining us on phone is the Public Relations Officer for Marwako Fast Food Limited, Mohammed Amin Lamte. Mr. Lamte, thank you very much for your time. How do you respond to these findings against you?
Thank you very much for having me. There is nothing we can say, even though earlier we exhibited our concerns and indicated that we might look for an independent investigation for what FDA has brought out.
Okay.
But upon second reflection of the whole thing, the FDA must really come out with a report, even though if you look at the content, it seems to have affected our brand and marketability. But it is up to us to be able to reposition our brand and then our marketability. They have indicated everything. And for me, where I really have a challenge with the FDA is a paragraph that indicates that the process to establish the root cause of the contamination has been unfortunately hampered by the unapproval and illogical decision by management. And this is the situation where I believe that what happened was at East Legon. I was there when the FDA said we should close only 2 branches. Okay, that was East Legon and probably the headquarters, that is Abilipe branch, for no reason, because it happens at only 1 branch. And later on, they said all the branches. So there's 1 or 2 challenges there, because we knew it was only 1 branch. It was just 1 branch that we had a problem. But all said and done, FDA has done a yeoman's job. They took us through the scrutiny. We've had meetings with them. We were fined, and the money we are paying, I can tell you that is not easy. We have to go and borrow because we are dealing with some of the victims. We are dealing with some of our staffs. Our chief executive officer, he has been taken out of the country today because of ill condition. Some of the management staff, some of the supervisors are totally confused. But all this thing, we are trying to manage it. So today, FDA came to a Belempe branch. They came and checked with regards to what they've asked us to do. We have to relocate our washroom in the kitchen and all that. We have done that. So we are moving to the other branches when they call and say we should halt, we should stop that, what they are doing. They want to have a meeting with us. So tomorrow that meeting is coming up. And today, to all intents and purposes, we are planning for the meeting tomorrow, and then media started calling me, asking me whether I've seen the report from the FDA, and I said no, because I was in the office, we didn't receive anything. Though we had a call that we had to receive some statement, we didn't have it. The media had it before we had it. But all the same, I think that it's well and good. And I'm happy I heard him saying that what is happening to Marwako could serve as more or less like a clarion call to other restaurants, so that all of us will be on the same page. So to all intents and purposes, we appreciate what FDA has done, and I'm excited that they are saying that they will continue monitoring us. And I can assure our customers that Marwako Fast Food will continue to be one of the best restaurants in this country, to all intents and purposes.
Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. That's Mohammed Amin Lamte there. He speaks for Marwako Fast Food.
Joy News Prime Headlines was brought to you by
Belcan's refreshing style, taste of adventure.